Disney Cruise Line is fast becoming my most favorite way to vacation. You have all things Disney combined with the best of cruising, and how can it not be amazing? Today I'm going to share with you my top 10 tips if this is your first Disney cruise, plus a bonus tip. Hello everyone, and welcome to Finding Moments of Magic. My name's Kim, giving you tips, tricks, and moments of magic from Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, and beyond. Today, I'm here to tell you my top 10 tips for first-timers in 2024 if this is your first time on a Disney cruise. Plus, at the end, I'm going to give you my favorite tip, whether this is your first cruise or your 50th. 50 cruises, that would be great. So stay tuned to the end. First, if it's your first time, you're going to need to bring a lanyard with you for your Key to the World card. This Key to the World card is used to get into your stateroom, to get on and off the ship at ports, to purchase any merchandise, specialty dining, or extra beverages during your time on the ship. So you don't get a lanyard if it's your first cruise. If it's your second cruise on up, you do get a lanyard from Disney Cruise Line. But for your first trip, you're going to need a lanyard. I would suggest just bringing one with you ahead of time. I'm going to put a link down below on some lanyards that you could pre-purchase. They're not very expensive. And that is just an easy way to carry your key card with you at all times. You could, of course, just put it in your pocket. You don't need to wear it around your neck. It's just easier if you want to kind of be hands-free and not really carry things with you. Also, Disney has just started using the Disney Band Plus, and this works like the Magic Band works at the parks, and it can be used for the same things as the Key to the World card can be used for. And that is a great option if you don't want anything on your person. If you just want to have it on your arm, it is waterproof, so you can also go swimming with it or go into a spa with it. And it's just another way to have all of your information with you. Number 2, download the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app. This app is really important. I know that most people, myself included, like to go on cruises because you want to kind of be disconnected from the world a little bit. However, really everything you need to know is going to be in the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app, including your dining rotations and then any activities that might be scheduled on board. So downloading the app is super important. My favorite part of the app is that as soon as we get on the first day, we go have some lunch at Cabanas, and we actually look through the app and put a little heart next to any activity that we're interested in. And your phone or the app will remind you of upcoming activities. So download that app, find out what your dining rotation is, and heart some favorite activities, so that way you can be ready to have a lot of fun. Another good thing about the app is that you can stay connected to your children. So you can, if your children are a little bit older, you can give them a little bit of freedom to roam the ship a little bit, and they still can be connected to you because you can exchange messages within the app that is within the app itself. Like, you don't have to use any of your phone Wi-Fi usage or anything. You're using just within the app, so you can communicate with your kids. If you have a kid in the Oceaneer Club, they can contact you through the app as well. So it's a really good way to stay connected to each other while you're on board. Number 3, make sure you pack some Dramamine if it's your first cruise. I always need Dramamine. Actually, I'm going to modify that. I don't always need Dramamine, but I always am prepared with Dramamine. So I will take a Dramamine about an hour before embarkation, so that way I can already have it into my system. This most recent cruise that I was on a few months ago, actually, I only needed Dramamine that first day. The rocking wasn't too bad. We didn't have any rough seas, and I never needed Dramamine after that, but I had it with me anyway. So come prepared. You don't know, especially if it's your first cruise, you don't know how you might react to any kind of ship rocking, and sometimes the first night as you're getting out to sea can be a little bit rocky. However, coming prepared will help you. I would also want to make sure that if you don't want to take any kind of medication, you get some C-bands that you just wear on your wrist. And I found that those have been helpful too. I had trouble the first time I used them. They didn't work, but got to find that right spot to put them in. And they actually do work if you use them right. I just did not use them right the first time I used them. And they can be helpful as well. I'm going to put a link down below. I got an order through Amazon, and it actually came with like 10 in a pack, I think, and I was able to share them. So I'm going to put that link down below for you. But bring your medication. In addition to Dramamine and any other over-the-counter medication or prescription medication that you might be bringing, I do want to suggest that you put all of that medication into your carry-on bag. You want to make sure that you carry on medications with you, so that way, one, you have direct access to them because you don't get your luggage right away, and two, so that way, in case they need to see any kind of medication, they're not going through your bags, so that you already have that on you right away as well. Number 4, dress like a pirate. Now, not all cruises have it. If you're going to Alaska, they don't have a dress like a pirate night, but most cruise ships have dress like a pirate. If your ship has a dress like a pirate night, please consider dressing like a pirate. It just helps you to get into the fun. We do enjoy dressing up. We've gone all out, but we've also gone really minimal as well on our 3-night cruise on the Disney Wish. They did not have like a formal pirates night, although they still had pirate night, but they did put a bandana in our room, so we were able to use a bandana. You could take small things like an eye patch or a little bit of makeup, or you can full-on pirate garb. I've seen full-on pirate gear, especially for longer cruises, but consider dressing up. If you have a specialty cruise, like a Marvel Day at Sea or Pixar Day at Sea, consider dressing up with those as well. It helps you when you're part of the action to have a little bit more fun. So I definitely highly recommend getting in on that. I mean, where else can you just dress up like a pirate and no one's gonna look twice at you? Although if you look pretty cool, they might look twice. But consider dressing up. Consider being part of the fun. Now, I will say, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. So if you're really against dressing up, that's okay, because not everybody does. So you're not going to feel out of place or look out of place if you decide not to dress up, but make it a consideration. Number 5, don't skip the stage shows. If it is your first cruise, you are in for a treat. Their stage shows are Broadway caliber. They're amazing. Do not skip them. Even if you're like, oh, I don't know what this is. I mean, I don't know what the name of this is. It doesn't sound familiar to me. It doesn't matter. Go see the stage shows. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Now, I will have to say this. I found recently it gets a little crazy getting into the shows. So if you have an early dinner reservation, your show time will be after dinner. And if you have a later dinner reservation, your show time will be before dinner. People line up somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour before the show, meaning if you have a 6 o'clock dinner reservation and the show is at 8, people might be lining up by 7. So like, it's almost like getting into dinner, getting out, getting in line. You do not have to be first in line to get a good seat or get a seat at the show. But if you're interested in a good seat, sometimes I forget my glasses when we're traveling and I need to sit a little closer, which would mean I need to get there a little earlier in order to be able to see anything. So sometimes we'll leave from dinner and we'll go get in line. But don't skip the shows. Definitely make sure that you go see the shows. If you're not feeling like going to a stage show, but you want to see it, but you're maybe a little tired, first night can be a lot. Just getting out to see and all of the exciting things happening. You can still watch the show in your stateroom. It's a pre-recorded version of the show, but you can still see it. So you won't necessarily have to miss it. So, or if you have a young child who, you know, maybe needs to go to bed a little early, and you might have to miss one night, you can go and watch it in your stateroom, but I highly suggest going to see it live if you can. Number 6, take care of yourself in the sun. This means hydrate, sunglasses, and sunscreen. It may not feel like you're out in the sun because you're going from inside and then you're going to maybe the pool area and then back inside to eat and back out to the pool area, but you are being exposed to the sun. And even though you're on a ship in the middle of the ocean, you might feel like, oh, I'm not on a beach. So you might forget about those things. But definitely take care to hydrate, and sunglasses definitely, and sunscreen will help make sure that you are going to be able to enjoy your entire trip and that you're not getting any kind of heat exhaustion, heat sensitivity because of being out in the sun. Number 7, don't miss the characters. They are what makes Disney Cruise Line fun, right? Like, you have your favorite Disney characters, and you even get specialty characters if you're going on a specialty cruise like Pixar Day at Sea or a Marvel Day at Sea. You're going to get even more types of characters. Don't miss them. You don't want to miss your Fab Five, Mickey, Minnie, and friends, because the different days they're in different attire. If you have formal night, if it's a 7-day cruise and you have formal night, you're going to see them in their formal attire. Pirate night, you're going to see them in pirate attire. When you go to Castaway Cay, you're going to see them in beach attire. So it's just really fun to find them in all their different outfits. If you're looking for a specific character, maybe you want to know where Captain Hook is going to be. Is he going to be on your ship? You want to find him. So what you can do is, in the Disney Cruise Line Navigator app, you can go under characters and you can find the different days that the characters will be available, and you can place a little heart on that, so that way the app will remind you that you want to meet with that character. And this will help you find, where's the character located, what day are they going to be available. Is Captain Hook only available on Pirate Night? Am I only going to be able to see him that one day? Will Mickey be available all the days of my cruise? So if I miss him one day, I'll catch him a different day. You know, you can make sure that you meet all the characters, keep track of them, and definitely, you know, take the time and just meet up with them. Many times they're available in the atrium, like when it's close to dinner time, you'll see them out there as well. So definitely make sure that you meet the characters. Now, there is on some cruises the availability to book a princess meet and greet. And this is where you can meet many different princesses at once. And this requires a reservation. This can be booked 30 days before your sail date at midnight. Midnight, yes. Definitely want to be up for that. That's also the night that you can do your port arrival time. So make sure that you, if you're interested in seeing all the princesses at once, that you look into that. So that way you are not missing out. If you do miss out on getting a princess reservation, you can stop at the concierge when you first arrive on board and see if you can get a reservation that way. Which leads me into number 8, 30 days before embarkation, before you're going to set sail, is a crucial time. This is when you're going to make your port arrival time, and it is at midnight. So grab that cup of coffee, stay up. It's going to be fun. Everybody's doing it. So you're going to make your port arrival time. Personally, I like making an early port arrival time because I really like, my vacation starts as soon as we're on board and we want to have lunch and explore the ship. So we usually try to make an early port arrival time. Some don't want that mad rush of everybody trying to make a early time, and we'll make a later time. So that way can walk onto the ship much easier. It doesn't matter, whichever is your preference, but 30 days before embarkation, you can make the port arrival time. And then you also will make that princess specialty gathering. And sometimes there's some other specialty things that you can make right at that 30-day mark. So, you know, be prepared to have a late night party that night. Number 9, get out of your comfort zone and try all of the food. This is the most perfect way to do it, because even when you're, the buffet, you have a variety anyway. You can try whatever you want. But when you're in the main dining rooms, you have the option of ordering multiple things. If you're not sure between two appetizers, order both of them. If you're not sure about the main entree, order it. And if you don't like it, you could ask them very nicely, could they bring you a different one instead? And they will. This is the perfect way to try new things, because when you're at a regular restaurant, you're going to pay for whatever you order. And you might try to play it on the safe side because you like chicken, but you're not sure if you like this other thing. On a Disney cruise is the perfect time to try different things. So try everything. Try all the foods. Usually between my daughter and I, we order all the appetizers and the rest of the table, but it's usually our idea. We order all of the appetizers because we want to try all of them. We want to get a little taste of what all of them taste like. And then we'll usually order maybe a couple different entrees. That way we can sample each other. So definitely try everything. This is not the time to play it safe unless you have an allergy. And if so, make sure that you indicate that ahead of time. And also, as soon as you board, talk to concierge and make sure that you talk to the head waiter as well. So that way you can be safe if you have an allergy. But other than that, try everything. Number 10, don't feel like you have to book an excursion at every port for your first time. I would suggest booking one, but don't feel like you have to. Your first time can be just about exploring the ship. Most ports that you go to will have a little area that you can enjoy, like you can get off the ship and it's pretty close by, and it's usually in a nice area where you can feel safe. You can get off and enjoy it that way, but don't feel like you have to make an excursion at every single port. Sometimes it's fun enjoying the ship when people get off the ship. There's still things to do on board, and it's a little bit more quiet by the pool for sure. So don't feel like you have to do everything. It took us a few cruises with our kids before we actually booked an excursion, and then now they're hooked on excursions. But we just wanted to enjoy the ship. So don't feel like you have to book, but I do suggest maybe booking at least one excursion, because that will give you a chance to kind of see what that's like. If you don't get off the ship at any of the ports, make sure that you do get off at Castaway Cay. It is by far my most favorite port ever. It's beautiful. It's Disney's private island. That you have lunch available for you on the island as well. There are adult areas, kids areas, family areas, beautiful water, and it's really lovely. So definitely, even if you don't get off at other ports of call, definitely make sure that you get off at Castaway Cay. I have not been to the new Lighthouse Point yet, which is Disney's other private island. So I heard some nice things about it. So if you're headed to Lighthouse Point, definitely get off and enjoy that as well. If you decide you want to do a port adventure or an excursion, port adventures are booked by your Castaway Club sailing status, by how many cruises that you have taken. So the more cruises that you take with Disney Cruise Line, the earlier you get to book these excursions. And if you're a first-time cruiser, your book date is 75 days before your cruise. So some excursions may be filled up by then. However, you can use that as an excuse just to relax and enjoy the ship. Don't have to stress out about it, but you do have the opportunity to book some if you'd like. If you find that something that you really wanted to do is sold out or is all booked up before you get on, head to Port Excursions or Port Adventure desk when you get onto Disney Cruise Line ship, and they will help you. They'll help you to see if there's something available, or maybe they'll have something else in its place that you didn't think about. Bonus tip. This is whether it's your first cruise or your 50th cruise and you haven't done this before. I absolutely highly recommend kayaking at Castaway Cay. It is by far my most favorite port adventure I've done, and we've done several. First of all, you get to sail out right near the ship. You're not going to be, you can't touch the ship. You're not going to be that close, but it's a beautiful view. You can get right out there and take some amazing pictures of the ship. The water is so crystal clear that no pictures do it justice. It is absolutely spectacular. It is so beautiful. I think we saw a stingray once, but it was a little bit further away and we weren't able to catch up to it. It's such a peaceful and relaxing and absolutely beautiful thing to do. It's only about a half an hour, so it's not that long. It's not very strenuous. It's very relaxing. So I 100% recommend kayaking at Castaway Cay. Even if you have no other excursions booked, or whether it's your first cruise or 50th cruise and you haven't done it yet, definitely kayak at Castaway Cay. Whether you're a first-time cruiser or just haven't sailed with Disney Cruise Line in a few years, I hope that you have found this information helpful. If so, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you have not done so already. If you have additional tips that you would give for first-time cruisers on the Disney Cruise Line, please put them in the comments below. Would love to hear what tips you would give to someone else. These 10 are definitely not all the tips that could possibly be for a first-timer. If you are going to be a first-timer and you have a question about your upcoming cruise, I'll try to help you. Put that question below and I'll see what I can do to help you out with that. I do hope that you have a fantastic time on your first Disney Cruise Line cruise and that you want to keep coming back just like me. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep living the magic. Bye-bye.